Hey guys, I want to show you how to make a automaton or a automata. So mine is for a swimmer, and I have some sketches here. I came up with a little sketch of a guy swimming on top, and with two cams on each of these sides for all four limbs. It got a little complex, so I had another idea of having a rocker, and that allows it to have one piston going up from the cam and causing each of the legs to alternately move, make it look like it's swimming. So you're going to have to decide what kind of movement do I want for my automata, and then you can go ahead and start building your cam. So in my case, I wanted to go up and down and alternating. So let's see. When you add in that data into your spreadsheet, you can create this kind of chart. If you're not sure how to do that, let me start that part over. So I've got all my positions in degrees. I'm counting by 30s all the way to 360 and choosing how far I want to be away from the center of that cam. And that's the radius, 4 inches, 2 inches. And you'll find out later that that's probably too much because it doesn't fit in the virtual box that we have in Fusion. But let's just show you how to make this little graph. Once you've got your data on here, you highlight it, and then you click Insert Chart. It's going to pop up a line graph or line chart, which is not exactly what we want. We want this one that's a smooth line chart, and that makes it look a little better. And this is the movement that I want to see on top of my automata so that it makes these legs go up and down. So now we want to take this information, this data, and put it in Fusion. So notice at 0 degrees is 4 inches, at 30 degrees is 2 inches, and it alternates every 30 degrees. So let's go to Fusion, and you can see what I've done here. I've drawn a line. You create a line right after you've created your sketch. I'm editing my sketch now. Okay, so you probably forgot how to do that. So let's go ahead. This is creating a sketch, right? So you would click this button and then start in creating your sketch. Let me see if I can hide that little button, and we'll edit the sketch by right clicking on it down here in the timeline and edit sketch. So this line was the first one I drew from the center and 4 inches long at 0 degrees. The next one you can see is 2 inches at 30 degrees, and it just alternates going around. 4 inches 60 degrees, 2 inches 90 degrees, 4 inches 120 degrees, 2 inches 150 degrees, 4 inches 180 degrees, and on around. On the bottom side, you're going to find out that you actually have to come the opposite direction. So it may be harder to do something that's over 180. You might have to start back at 0 and then start working this way, 30 and 60 and on around. Once you've got your lines drawn from the center, then you're going to create this line. It's called a spline, which makes a nice curve based on the endpoints of those lines. I'm going to show you, okay, I'm going to delete mine, right? And then show you how to add it on there. So we just click on the endpoints as we go around. Once you've gone all the way around clicking, it starts to form a nice curve, except you see how it's overlapping here? So you can adjust these endpoints, and let me get off that tool by pressing escape and adjust those endpoints, okay? So I'm going to keep that parallel, or in this case perpendicular to that other line. I can bring it in pretty good, okay. And then I've got to click on it again to adjust this next one. So I'm going to go all the way around like that, and that's going to smooth out the curve on the outside. And this last one. And once you're done, you click, you also need to create a circle. And my circle is a 1/4 inch diameter, and that's going to be the diameter of the camshaft that goes through the cam, holds it in place. And once I have that piece in there, I could delete these extra lines in here, these construction lines that I use just to help me draw the cam, but I'm going to leave it. It's fine in case I need to edit later. Once I click Finish Sketch, then I will need to extrude my cam. Let me see where mine went. Oh, there it is. No, let's see. Well, let's see if we can extrude something from it. Oh, I see, because I already have an extrusion from when I first did this. Let me see if I can start that over. Okay, I just needed to make it visible. And when I extrude this, I need to pick each of the sections that I want to extrude. And notice that I'm not selecting the part inside that little bitty circle. Okay, and how far do I want to extrude it? I can either type in the distance here, or I can grab this little arrow and drag it up. All right, 1/2 inch, that's fine. Click OK. And there's my cam. Once you're done, then you're going to use that cam and create a design, a drawing with dimensions. So I'm going to save this, click OK. And that save button was right here, this little disk, or you can click File and Save. That shows up. In this case, I'm going to go to File, New Drawing from Design, and then notice that it's ASME, American Society of Mechanical Engineering Standards, inches, and then the sheet size is our standard sheet of paper, either portrait or landscape. I'll go with portrait. I'll take a moment to bring up the title block, and that's just a rectangle sheet of paper that has your name on it and the title of the project, and you can put other information on there. If this were for your job, you would put in more details about the scale as well, just to give them an idea if they were actually building this. It takes a moment to pop up, but here it is. And notice that my cam is attached to my mouse, my pointer, so I can place it here. And that is really more of a side view, front view. And I could change that if I wanted up here, right? But it's fine. I'm going to have a top view anyway, so I will just accept that. And then to have my projected views, I click this second button up here. In case you lost your base view, you can start over by clicking it up here. But here's the projected views. Click that, then click that parent view and go up to place my top view, and then go up to the right to place my isometric view. And you can click that little check box to accept that. I like this isometric view to be shaded, so I'll click it and then right click to edit view and choose a shaded version of it. If I don't like the size of it, I could edit this as well and change this ratio 1:4, 1/4 to maybe 1/2, and then it becomes a little bit bigger. And I'll have to move some things around, so I have to close that little window in order to move it, and that looks pretty good. Then I need to add in dimensions. My dimensions for this side should be pretty easy. I can zoom in, scrolling the middle mouse wheel, I can click my corners, and there's my 1/2 inch. And again, corner to corner will give me that 88 inch, because you remember it was 4 inches from the center out to this edge, right? Now, notice it's not clicking on anything, right? Unfortunately, that's the case here. And I can get maybe this center point or center mark. And I can also get this center line if I click this side and that side and get a center line. But my other dimensions are going to be more difficult. I can get a diameter for this, and I can get some arcs. Let's see if it'll let me get them. No, since it was a spline, it's not going to give me those specific arcs. So let me show you what I did on this version. So I had to actually extrude sections of this version of the cam every 45 degrees out a little bit, alternating every other section, so that I would have some lines to be able to draw my dimensions on. But there are probably easier ways to do that. That's just one way I did it. In this case, you might be able to add in a linear dimension. You might catch some parts of it. Let's see. I saw it trying to grab it, and I really want to catch this one. Yeah. So linear is going to give me, let's try that again. I'm going to go aligned, and so I can catch that edge and that center. Good. And this little error message is basically telling me this is not an accurate or an exact point because of the way this curve is. But it's good for this project. And let me see if I can catch any other spots in here. I don't see anything else that's letting me come in. But as long as you add in a screenshot of your data that you made on this chart, then that will suffice for this project and be able to actually build it based on those radii. So those are the two things you're going to turn in for this designing your own cam. This PDF, and you would export that here. Click OK, and then you would name it. And this has your dimensions on it. I'm going to add my swimmer name to it, and it's a PDF. That's the file that I want. And then a screenshot on your computer is Windows Shift S, so that this grays out a bit, and then you can catch that graph. And then a little pop-up will come up, and you have to click on that in order to save it. There's the little save button. Click on that.